Wondering where to find a mob spawner in Minecraft? This video is going to explain how mob spawners work and where you can find them. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to see when new videos come out. The spawner is a very useful block in Minecraft because it can spawn a lot of mobs of the same type. It can be used to farm items from mobs or can be used to get XP by killing a lot of mobs. Just to be clear with this video, I'm going to be talking about mob spawners you can find in the game, not custom mob spawners. There are a total of 7 different mob spawners that can generate in Minecraft. These are zombie, skeleton, spider, cave spider, silverfish, blaze spawner, and magma cube. There are 6 different structures that spawners can be found in, and depending on the structure changes the possible mob spawner. The dungeon has a 50% chance to have a zombie spawner, 25% for skeleton, 25% for the spider spawner. Dungeons generate naturally in the overworld at any altitude provided they are underground, and usually they generate next to a cave. The dungeons can be found by listening for mob sounds and mining in that direction, or they can be found by exploring a cave system. Skeletons drop 0 to 2 bones, 0 to 2 arrows, 5 XP when killed by the player, and 1 to 3 XP depending on the equipment they are wearing. Looting, which is a sword enchantment, can increase the drops when killing a mob. The maximum level of looting is 3. For bones and arrows, there is a possible 1 extra per an enchantment level. Spiders drop 0 to 2 string, and looting increases this to 0 to 5 string. There is a 1/3 chance of dropping a spider eye, increasing to 2/3 with looting 3, and there is 5 XP when killed by the player. Zombies drop 0 to 2 rotten flesh, an extra 1 per a level of looting. They can also drop an iron ingot, a carrot, and potato, and if killed by the player they drop 5 XP. Mineshafts can generate with a cave spider spawner surrounded by cobwebs. Mineshafts generate in the overworld, usually underground. They can intersect with caves. In the Badland biome, mineshafts can generate on the surface. Cave spiders will have the same drops as spiders. Woodland mansions can spawn with a rarely generated secret room that has a spider spawner. It can be found on the 2nd or 3rd floor of the Woodland mansion. The Woodland mansion generates extremely far away from the spawn point. One way to locate it is by buying a Woodland Explorer map from a cartographer villager. The Stronghold will have a silverfish spawner in the end portal room. Strongholds generate underground and can be thousands of blocks away from each other. To find a stronghold, throw an Eye of Ender, which is an ender pearl and blaze powder crafted together, and this will point in the direction of the nearest stronghold. When thrown, it will go up depending on the distance it is away from a stronghold, and if it is close to a stronghold, it will move towards the ground. Silverfish only drop 5 XP when killed and have no other drops. The Nether Fortress has 2 blaze spawners, although there can be more. The Nether Fortress can generate in any Nether biome, and as of the 1.16 update, they are more sparse and uniform in their location. The blaze spawners will be on the Nether Fortress balconies with stairs leading up to them. Blazes will drop 0 to 1 blaze rods, which can be increased to 0 to 4 with looting, and 10 XP when killed by the player. The Bastion Remnant has a magma cube spawner in it. The Bastion Remnant can be found in all biomes in the Nether except for the Basalt Delta. The magma cube spawner can be found in the treasure room of the Bastion Remnant. This is a large cube-like structure that will have loot at the bottom of it, and the magma cube spawner will be in this area. Large and small magma cubes drop 0 to 1 magma cream. Large magma cubes drop 4 XP, small drop 2 XP, and tiny is 1 XP. Another way of finding a mob spawner is by using commands. If you hit \locate and enter the structure you are looking for, it will give you the nearest X and Z coordinates of the nearest structure. The structures you would enter are Mineshafts, Woodland mansions, strongholds, Nether fortresses, or Bastion remnants. Another option is to use chunkbase.com. If you hit \seed, this will give you the seed of the world you are playing in. Then go to chunkbase.com and go to the app section. You can find finders for all of these structures. As an example for the dungeon, you can enter the seed into the top and choose the version of Minecraft from the drop down menu. It will give you a map of all the dungeons in the world and differentiate each type of dungeon. You also get the coordinates for the dungeon's X, Y, and Z coordinates. The spawner is a cage-like block that will spawn mobs. It cannot be obtained in the survival mode even with tools that have the Silk Touch enchantment. The spawner cannot be moved by a piston. The spawner can spawn mobs that usually wouldn't spawn in that biome. How a spawner works is it spawns a mob in a 9x3x9 area around the spawner when a player is within 16 blocks spherically of the distance of it. In Bedrock, it is a diamond shape 4 blocks away from the spawner. Mobs can spawn anywhere in the range that is suitable, with mobs more likely to spawn closer to the spawner than farther away. The spawner attempts to spawn 4 mobs around it, then waits 10 to 39.95 seconds before spawning more mobs. As it waits, the mobs inside the spawner will spin faster and faster. When the mobs spawn, the spawner emits a poof and flame particles. With the mobs, except for spawning on a solid block, all the normal requirements are the same, like light level and volume. If the spawner fails to spawn any mobs because it does not pick any suitable location, it repeats this process every tick until it succeeds. If it spawns 1 mob, it starts waiting for the next cycle. If there are 6 or more mobs within the 9x9x9 area around the spawner in Java Edition and 16x10x10 and the lower northeast corner of the spawner in Bedrock, the spawner poofs without creating any mobs, then waits for the next cycle. For the requirements for the mobs, the solid block that mobs have to spawn on normally is removed. A mob that spawns 2 above the spawner and is 2 blocks tall will need enough airspace to spawn. To disable a spawner, if a mob requires light level 7 or below, a torch on the side or on the top of the spawner can disable it. For mobs like blazes and silverfish, it is a light level of 12, so the light needs to be increased to be higher. It can also be disabled by placing solid blocks in the spawning area.